It means that when we say double, it means that that thing has occurred twice, isn't it? So double circulation. Now, double circulation refers to a phenomenon or mechanism where a volume of blood flows through the heart twice. So we have a certain volume of blood that happens to flow through the heart twice, and it's referred to as double circulation. Now, let's take a look at how double circulation takes place within the heart. Now, let's consider the right ventricle, which has deoxygenated blood. Let's say a certain volume of blood within the right ventricle. It will be ejected through the pulmonary, artery, where it goes, it finds its way into the lungs and picks up oxygen and then returns to the heart through the pulmonary vein. You understand? So initially it was inside the heart without oxygen. It was pumped and ejected out of the heart to go and pick up oxygen, become oxygenated, and then return to the heart. So in effect, you can realize that it has flown through the heart twice. It was initially there, it was ejected through the pulmonary artery, where it went to the lungs to pick up oxygen, and then returned to the heart. So it means that it has flown through the heart twice. And this particular mechanism or phenomenon is referred to as double circulation. All right. Now, let's talk about pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. When we say pulmonary, the word pulmo refers to the lungs. So pulmonary circulation is a circulation that occurs between the lungs and the heart. And this is where it takes place. Pulmonary circulation is a circulation that takes between the heart and the lungs. Pulmonary circulation is whereby deoxygenated blood in the right ventricle will be ejected through the pulmonary artery, where it goes to pick up oxygen. So this one, it will drive them to the left lung and the right lung, where it is going there to pick up oxygen. But initially it was here without oxygen, so it was here as deoxygenated blood, and it was ejected through the pulmonary artery, where it sends them to the lungs to pick up oxygen, because within the lungs is where oxygen is in saturation. All right, so pulmonary circulation is a circulation where deoxygenated blood in the right ventricle is ejected through the pulmonary artery, heading towards the lungs to pick up oxygen. So pulmonary circulation is a circulation that takes place between the heart and the lungs. Systemic circulation, on the other hand, is a circulation where oxygenated blood in the left ventricle is ejected through the aorta to the various parts of the body for metabolism. So if you have oxygenated blood inside in the left ventricle, during systolic phase, the muscle would contract and eject the content through this particular aorta to the system for systemic circulation. So the systemic circulation is a circulation between the heart and the body. Between the heart and the body. Alright. Because in this particular phenomenon, oxygenated blood will be injected through this for metabolism. Alright. So in a nutshell, we've talked about the electrical activity of the heart, the zone within which the heart where electrical activity is initiated, and we have established the fact that the electrical activity or the nervous control of the heartbeat has got nothing to do with the contraction of the heart. The function of electrical activity is just to regulate the rate at which the heart beats. We also talk about some of the pathological cases associated with the heart. We've also talked about the diastolic phase and the systolic phase of the heart. We've also talked about the difference between pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation, and then we've also talked about double circulation. All right. Now, so I've got some questions that is going to assess us to know if we have really, exhausted and understood the topic cardiovascular system. So this is IGCSE biology test on cardiovascular system. International General Certificate for Secondary Education, Biology under cardiovascular system. So let's answer the questions. Now, question 1 says that which of the following blood vessels contains deoxygenated blood? They they have given us a list of blood vessels. They want us to locate the one which contains deoxygenated blood. Now let's look at our illustration. The only parts of the blood vessel that will definitely contain deoxygenated blood will be either a pulmonary artery or the superior or inferior vena cava, because inferior vena cava is actually draining deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body and direct them into the right atrium. Superior vena cava is also draining deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body and direct them into the right atrium. And then pulmonary artery is also collecting or sort of a conduit, serve as a conduit where deoxygenated blood will be injected into the lungs where it now pick up oxygen. So the possible answers could be pulmonary artery, superior vena cava, or inferior vena cava. So let's look at the A, pulmonary vein, B, pulmonary artery, C, aorta, D, carotid artery. So the answer is pulmonary artery, which is B. Question 2. The coronary artery supplies blood to the, yes, this is the coronary artery. I told you that it's the only artery that supplies the muscles of the heart with oxygenated blood, and the muscles of the heart are called myocardium. So the coronary artery supplies the myocardium with oxygenated blood. So the coronary artery supplies blood to A, left side of the body, B, right atrium, C, left atrium, D, myocardium. So the answer is myocardium. Now, question 3. The electrical activity for the contraction of the heart is initiated by, I told you that there's a specific region within, or a specific zone or region within the walls of the atria close to the vena cava where the electrical activity of the heart is initiated, and this is called the sinoatrial node. So the answer is supposed to be sinoatrial node. The answer is A. Alright. Question 4. The functions of the mitral valve is to prevent the reflux of blood from there. This is the mitral valve, which is otherwise known as the bicuspid valve. The reflux of the blood means that, in fact, the mitral valve is supposed to allow blood to flow downwards, to be ejected downwards only. So in a situation where there's a blood going back, that means we refer to a reflux. So it means that this particular valve will prevent the reflux of blood from the left ventricle into the left atrium. So the mitral valve, in as much as it is allowing blood to be ejected into the left atrium from the left, be ejected into the left ventricle from the left atrium, it also prevent the reflux of blood from the left ventricle into the left atrium. So no matter how they phrase the question, if you understand the concept, you'll be able to answer. So the answer is left ventricle to the left atrium. Question 4. The functions of the mitral valve to prevent the reflux of the blood from the left atrium to the left ventricle to the left atrium. C is the correct answer. Now, question 5. The endocardium is composed of dash. The endo means inside, cardium means heart. So inside of the heart is composed of what? I told you that the inner lining of the heart, that is the endocardium of the heart, is structured with smooth squamous endothelial cells. Smooth squamous endothelial cells. And what is the reason behind this? Because in the distribution of blood within the chambers of the heart, it has to be done without any turbulence or fluctuation. It has to be smooth distribution of blood within the chambers of the heart. And for this reason, the endocardium is specialized with smooth squamous endothelial cells. So the answer is smooth squamous endothelial cells, which is D. Alright. Question 6. An artery can be defined as a blood vessel which carries, I told you, we cannot say an artery is a blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood. When you look at pulmonary artery, there's an artery, but it actually carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs for it to now pick up oxygen. So you cannot say an artery is a blood vessel that carries oxygenated blood. But you can say an artery is a blood vessel that carries blood away from the heart. So the answer is away from the heart, yes. So the answer is D. A vein on the hand will definitely be a blood vessel that carries blood towards the heart. Because if we say a vein is a blood vessel that carries deoxygenated blood, pulmonary veins, look at, they are carrying oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. So you cannot say a vein is a blood vessel that carries deoxygenated blood. So you can say a vein is a blood vessel that carries blood away